How you doing, everybody? Hope you're having a blessed day. And Lord Jesus Christ, even if you don't believe what I believe, um, we still love y'all regardless. That's why I make these videos. I don't make these videos to get paid. I don't get paid for this. I don't get paid for this. I don't take um, tithes and stuff like that. I just woke up not too long ago, like literally. I ain't been up probably 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, but it's how I had to wake up. So, um, wake up to my youngest son making a whole bunch of noise, like, whining and everything. And I hear him angry, upset. I already know how he is. I go in there, see what's going on. He hurt himself, which he hurts himself every single day, doing stupid stuff. And he decides to throw everything off the table because of his anger. He's mad because he hurt himself. That's the main thing that we're dealing with him right now, is instilling in him self-control. Because if a black man cannot handle himself in America, he's gonna be in trouble. And that's, as far as right now, my biggest fear for him, and not necessarily a fear, but y'all get what I'm saying, is his lack of self-control. So y'all gotta raise your children, man. I mean, you gotta be there as fathers. You gotta be there as fathers, and those life experiences that you've been through. We talking about the bad ones. We ain't talking about the good ones, because we always want to tell people the good stuff. But those bad life experiences, they're not only lessons for yourself, but they're lessons to give to other people. Now, most of you know, some of you don't know, but I've been to jail. I did fed time. Yes, I've been in jail. That's part of my testimony for doing stupid stuff. I was, just too smart for my own good. My charges, I know somebody wondering, what are your charges? Most people already know what I went to jail for. Making and selling U.S. counterfeit money. I was making it and I was selling it. I had charges in 2 different states, and I had charges in Georgia, charges in Alabama at 2 different times. And y'all know that's a fed crime, dealing with the Secret Service and stuff like that. As a God's my witness, the people that was involved that are probably watching the video right now or know about it, it was something, when you look back on it, something literally out of a movie. Like y'all watch these movies and stuff where people are doing this stuff and doing these crimes and everything. I was living it. I was living it, and people, they talk about, oh, this person gangster and that person gangster. This person was a thug or whatever. And come on now, I was around some real killers. Now, I was no killer myself because that just wasn't my forte. My crimes were a little bit different. Yet, the real goons, as we say, they want to know about what I was doing, because they were like, okay, we can get it. We could take it out on the floor to take it to the dope man, and I mean, the rest is history. And this is real. This is real talk. This is real talk. In regards to conversations I had with people before I was locked up, in regards to conversations I had with people when I was locked up, the very people that a lot of y'all look up to in regards to the area where all this was going on, I was cool with them. They knew about me. And some of them still know about me to this day because they went on and they've, changed their lives for the better. And that's part of my testimony. Like I said, I'm not going to go into all the details, but the stuff that I was doing, not just that, was something you see out of a movie. Every time I tell people like the story and the stuff that was going on, they're like, man, when you gonna make the movie, man? When you gonna make the movie? Well, I guess today is when you gonna make the Tubi movie. Maybe one day I will, with this technology that we have, AI, and what's coming down the turnpike, and what the capabilities are. Maybe one day I will, make a movie, not to glorify that behavior, but just to educate people and tell my story. And I know a lot of people talk about jailhouse religion, but as God's my witness, in jail is where I met Jesus. Jail was the first literal vision that I had of Christ. Muhammad didn't come to me. No, Buddha didn't come to me. And I didn't grow up in the what we call Christian church like that. Of course, as black people, we mostly we go. Our parents take us and stuff like that. But I didn't grow up in it like that. Part of it is because we traveled and everything. Over in Germany. Many different reasons. But jail was the first time that I literally had a vision of Jesus. I didn't see his face. It was just bright. He was just this glory on him. Um, and I can't remember specifically what he told me. I want to say it was something along and pretty much repent. I love you, something like that. It's been so many years, but I do remember it. My mom probably remember it better than I do. But that moment changed my life. And after that, I've had various visions, and I didn't just believe the vision because I've never been a person just to believe something. Obviously, if I'm making and selling counterfeit money, I go against the norm. um, I just don't do something because someone else is doing something, and that's what makes me, or that's what part of what makes me unique. I don't just believe the Bible because it's the popular thing to believe. I don't just believe it because my mom and my dad told me to believe the Bible, or they showed me the Bible, or all the different things. I'm the type of a person. I'm going to do my own research. I'm a seek it for myself, and that again, that's what makes me unique because of my story and because of me seeking for myself. Like, okay, I seen Jesus. I know he was real. I knew it was Christ, but at the same time, like, well, let me make sure what's going on, and that's what I've done over my lifetime, really since then, is find out if what I believe is truly believed, not for everybody else, for myself. Y'all just happen to be a part of the journey in regards to me sharing, and that's everybody's story. Everybody gets on Facebook and they share their journey, they share what they're going through. Most of the time, people try to make it seem like that Facebook ain't this and Facebook ain't that. Like, you can put a person's life together through Facebook. If the government can do it, the CIA can do it because it's a CIA program. Then a person that has a spirit, they can do it. But even before that, even before I got locked up, this is a true story. I used to walk by the Bible, and the Bible used to literally speak to me like, "Hey, we need to talk. Pick me up, read me. Pick me up, read me." I could it was like an audible voice, but spiritually. Some of you know what I'm talking about. We need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk. I'm like, yeah, I'll get back to you. I got something to do. Or I would look at it, and then I'm like, pick it up, and then let me go do something else. I didn't have that happen with the Quran. I didn't have that happen with any other books. Some people have that happen with other books, but even if it does, it's still on us individually to truly confirm if what we believe is true. And when you go study Islam, I know you probably got some people listening to Islam, but y'all need to go really study Islam. Y'all don't be studying this stuff like that. For one, most of you don't have time. I got the time because I'm an entrepreneur. That's the benefit, that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. And one of the other responsibilities of an entrepreneur is you have a greater responsibility to share. You have a greater responsibility to put the testimony that in the concept we're speaking about, that God has put in you to give. Even if you don't believe what we believe, you still have a responsibility to put your story out there, put your testimony out there. So I know most people aren't studying the way that they say they are, researching and stuff, because let's just be real, they don't have the time. They don't have the time. I've always been in the entrepreneur world as far as I can remember. Part of the reason that I was making and selling counterfeit money is because I wanted my own businesses. I literally got business plans from over 15 years ago a list of businesses that I want, and most of the businesses that I wanted back then are some of the same businesses that I've been able to enjoy now and that are possible. So a lot of my gifts, they were wasted because of the dumb decisions that I made. And of course, my parents hold a of course they hold a level of responsibility, but that's between me and them. We talked about that. We gotten over that and everything, and we moved on. I'm not going to exempt them from some of the choices and some of the things that they did, which guided me into making those decisions. But I still turned out pretty good. I thank God for that. But I also thank God for the experiences that I did experience, whether they were good or bad. And the point I want to make with all that, with the children, is you have to be there as parents. You have to be there as parents. My relationship with my parents was not always the best. But as I grew and I healed from I just healed in general. Rather, it was something that they inflicted, or rather, it was self-inflicted. I'm able to now have that healthy relationship with them. And most people, they don't have that. Most people don't have that. They carry these grievances. They carry this trauma. Rather, it's inflicted by their parents. Rather, it's inflicted by their family, or rather, it's inflicted by themselves. And they never get true healing. They never get true healing. Well, anybody knows that when you are sick, most of the time you need a higher level of medication. And that medication is not really going to feel good. It's going to, a lot of times, make you more sick because you're already sick. And so you have to have something more powerful to come in to help remove that. That's the way it's supposed to work. But we know we know how it goes down. And let's be honest about it. Because we want to address all of this, right? The reason that there's many reasons, but in the context of what we're speaking about, a lot of our parents, they never healed from the trauma that they went through. They never truly healed from the trauma that they went through. Some parents are listening to the video right now. They're like, you know what? Dang. Dang. This is why we do this. I don't do this to get paid. I do this because, contrary to what y'all say about me, I love you. I don't have to take the time and you know what? I just learned something. Let me share it with the people of the world to who wants to listen. Rather you claim to be a Christian or not, Hebrew Israelite, Muslim, whatever. I don't agree with, whatever I don't agree with, but that don't mean that I don't love you. Don't mean I don't love you, because I can keep this wisdom to myself, or I can charge for it and then get paid and be like, yeah, I'm sitting good, and look at y'all niggas, look down on you and say you ain't this, you ain't that. But I don't get down like that. But a lot of parents, rather they are young, older, even the grandparents, they haven't healed from the trauma that they went through in their life. And that's the issue. That's the issue. You got emotional trauma, spiritual trauma, physical trauma, just all type of trauma. It's almost like being shell shocked and not being able to handle those emotions that are God given. We have emotions for a reason. We have anger for a reason. Anger serves a purpose. Love serves a purpose. Contrary to what you have been taught, hate even serves a purpose. If you don't believe me, go read the book of Ecclesiastes. There's a time and place for everything. He says a time to love, a time to hate. But the world tells you, because of this, this fake world we live in, that you're not allowed to hate nobody. That's not realistic. The very person you should hate isn't the devil. You should know who I'm going to say. The very person you should hate isn't your parents. The very person that you should hate isn't that person that did whatever they did to you, that hurt you the way they hurt you. The very person you should hate is yourself. You know why? Because of who you become. The person that you have become, let me make sure I say it right. I know somebody will take what I said out of context. The person that most people have become is never the person that they grew up wanting to be. Most people didn't grow up and say, you know what, I want to grow up and I'm a scrub toilets for a living. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I did that for a living. It paid pretty good. But I didn't grow up saying, you know what, I want to scrub toilets. What do you mean you scrub toilets? I had a cleaning service. hours. I literally scrubbed toilets. It paid the bills. But I didn't grow up saying this is what I want to be. I wanted to be, I grew up wanting to be a business owner. Own businesses has always been in me. I just went about it the wrong way. Um, but most people don't grow up talking about, you know what? I want to work, you know what I'm saying? I want to get up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning so I could be to work at 8 o'clock and go through traffic and, sit in this little cubicle or do this or do that. Now, there are some people that they love their job, but most people, they hate their job. They only do it because they got to. They got to. And this is an issue. This is an issue that we become so comfortable with who we never really wanted to be. So the very person you should hate is the person that you have become because you don't really want to be that person. But to be the person that you really want to be, that old you that you are comfortable with has to die. For me to come in the right mindset, you know what, dang, I could have been doing business and look where I would have been now. I would have been way further ahead. Now I feel like I'm playing catch up. Not really feel like, but I'm playing catch up. For me to be where I'm at now, the family man that I am, raising my family, being there for my children, that old person that I had become had to die. And death doesn't feel good. But everybody has somebody that is older and their body is deteriorating. They're going through pains. Some of you was there when your parents died. You watched their last breath. It's not nothing to hoop and holler about. It's not nothing to, oh my God, this is a beautiful thing. Watching somebody that was so strong deteriorate until they eventually take their last breath and they wither away. But we've normalized it. We have normalized death by becoming overly comfortable with who we were never meant to be. We've over normalized being comfortable with who we never meant to be. And you can never be, as the word teaches, that new creature in Christ unless the old creature, the person that you never really wanted to be, dies. We talk about giving birth and giving life to something. Well, how can you give life to something if you have death within you? Meaning your spirit is dead. That's why we don't produce nothing for real collectively as a people. We bring forth death. Because we have death within us and we continue to consume death. I'm not on that. Now, I may speak about it because we got to be real about it. But most of the stuff is what? Y'all take it as, oh, it's negative. No, it's positive. That old person, that old man, that old woman has to die to give birth to that new one. And to be able to do that, you got to identify what's going on. And that's where I come in at with my hardcore, y'all say hardcore preaching. That you can realize, like, you know what? Hey, he's right. I don't want to do this. Like, but I want to go out here and keep on sleeping with these women and keep on, causing harm and pain to women or men. On the flip side, if it's women, and then you grow up having a daughter, and then you're like, oh, now you want to do different. But what about all the women that came before that? I'm not in that mindset before. It was in me because the person that I am today was always there. Wanted to come out. Wanted to be manifested. Wanted to show this love. But life is life in the way that we live it now, right? And so we grow up and we learn stuff and then we do stuff and we thinking it's the right thing when it's really not the right thing. And we end up going out here and we cause not only harm to ourselves, but we continue to inflict harm on others. From the perspective of a man, we go out and we get these women and we sleep with them, and then we cause more and more and more and more and more and more harm. And then when the next man goes to them, then they're broken. There's nothing there. And as men, we just keep on continuing to pillage and pillage and pillage and pillage and pillage. The woman is a beautiful resource. The man is a beautiful resource. And resources are supposed to be used the way they're supposed to be used. The word says that the body, my body belongs to see. Let me tell you this right here. A lot of people talk about the Bible allegedly suppressing women. Well, if that was the case, then why does the word say that my body belongs to my wife and her body belongs to me? Meaning I can't do what I want to with my body simply because, okay, yes, my body in the sense I'm right here, but it still belongs to her. So I just can't do what I want to with it. She has say so in what I can and cannot do with my body. Now we have self-governance, and that's through the spirit, but you get the point, hopefully. That doesn't sound oppressive to women. And if it was oppressive, and the Bible's oppressive, as y'all say, then why do I teach my wife business? My wife, only job she's worked since we've been married was a work-at-home job, meaning like, they got to get up, clock in, stuff like that. A work-at-home job for U-Haul. And that was our son, oldest son is now 6. And that was before she had him, when he was still in her womb. Then she gave birth, and then she didn't go back to the job. Ever since then, it's been entrepreneurship, growing her different businesses and stuff like that. Helping me to grow mine, and just learning, because she is what we call entrepreneur, but she still has to grow in it because it's like in me. So I put her up on game, and that way, if something happens to me, she's set. Just like if something happened to me, she got this house right here. I've done what I'm supposed to do as a man. The vision can continue to live on. She can continue to take care of the children, and also she can continue to take care of the people that are a part of our lives that have helped us to get here. I'm not just in the world of entrepreneurship, in the world of real estate, which is a part of my entrepreneurship. Real estate is just, a part of my journey right now. The end game isn't real estate. And that may sound crazy to some of y'all, but the end game is not real estate. It's not only to help myself and help my family, but to help others. To go through the journey, to go through the trials and tribulations and the heartaches and all these different things, so I can come forth and show others the way in that regard. And it's the same thing with what I was talking about earlier with jail. So let's bring it full circle with the children. Like I said, my son was acting the way he was acting, and I literally just got up. I've literally, like I said, I haven't been up that long. And I had to whoop him. I had to discipline him. Because me whooping him is nothing in comparison to if I don't discipline him and he gets out here in the world don't give a damn about him. And y'all know the world gonna do worse. And then he gonna grow up having all this anger and not knowing how to control it. Self-control. So my experiences in life helped me to be the man that I am today. And I'm thankful for those experiences. Just reflecting on it in totality. You have to do the same thing. Those life experiences that you have to take it and not use it as a weapon to continue being a weapon of mass destruction. But you have to use it as a weapon of love, to educate the people, to give the people knowledge, to give the people wisdom, to give the people understanding of why they shouldn't do certain things. Maybe you don't have children, but you can still talk to people. You can post stuff on Facebook. You can post it on social media. There's so many things that you can do to get your story out there. I'm all for what we call positivity, but y'all be taking it too far. Like, on the basic level of science, you don't have positive. It's positive and negative. That's basic science. You have to have both. You got to. You can't walk around positive all the time. That's just not realistic. It's not realistic. especially in the world that we live in. Positive vibes only. It's not realistic. You have to have something there or somebody there to tell you this will tell you that for that balance. Even if it is to check you to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, there still has to be a balance there. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Lord. If you're riding in a car, you're riding in a car down the highway. The guardrail is there, right? The guardrail is there for a reason. It's a constant reminder. Like, it's here to protect you. So if you get off course, or a better example will be, you on the highway, and then and you right? The tires are designed that way. Those things on the road, whatever, they're purposely put there to make that noise. As a reminder, a check and balance, like, whoa, you're sleepy. You need to pull over. You need to turn the heat on, AC on, let the window down, or most likely you probably need to pull over, right? You having the good time, you riding. And then eventually, oh, snap. So, it's there for a reason. Yeah, you're going on a road trip and stuff. Got your family, but what good does it do if you positive vibes only, you go on this trip to Florida or whatever, and then everybody else sleep, the person is driving, they fall asleep and then everybody dead. Because there was no checks and balances. And now that guardrail wasn't there, and it could have been there, but you ran out the road and then killed everybody. Like, that's not realistic what y'all talking about. Positive vibes only. I understand the concept. I understand the teaching in regards to, you see so much negativity that you want positive things. But what good does it do if you don't even apply the positive thing that you watch and you listen to? Most people don't. They just want to feel. Positive vibes has become a drug. We preaching today, and what today is? Monday? We do this every day. Positive vibes have become a drug because most people don't actually do the positive things that they talking about. And then they come on here and saying that what I'm preaching is negative, yet you come over here and you talk to anybody in this neighborhood, they say, oh yeah, that man produced. I've come here and I've done what people have only dreamed about. I'm talking about in this neighborhood. Only dreamed about. And not only dreamed about, but because I have done what I've done, it has inspired other people to now come here and help build this neighborhood up and invest in it. Places that sat vacant for 30 years. Now all of a sudden, there's this house on this big old house. Oh, people riding by. You see them because it's a side street. You don't come back here unless you got a reason to. It's 3 houses on this block right now. And people hearing about, oh, you heard about the house on Gibson? You seen what they did? These folks thought the white folks had got it. I'm speaking to people that's from here that's telling me this. They at first thought that the white folks had got it or the Mexicans had got it. They found out a black man had got it. They like, wow, you did good on that, man. Thank you, man. Cause I'm telling you what they telling me from the street, and I ain't from here. I'm talking about people that's born and raised here. They were like, we glad to see what you're doing in the community, in the hood, because we live, quote unquote, in the hood, but it ain't really the hood, but it's the black side of town, the historical black side of town and stuff like that. But yeah, they were telling me these different things. Like, we're glad to see that somebody your age and black is doing something. The lady that helped us to get this house that technically owns it, because yeah, we own it, but we really don't own it in regards to we're still paying on it, but our payments are, we would say dirt cheap. She helped us out. She saw something within us and said, I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity. And I didn't want to let them down because they didn't have to do that. When we first bought this house, she told us, she said, baby, I can take the house right now and I can sell it for double, triple what I'm selling to y'all for. But I'm gonna give y'all opportunity because I see y'all young, y'all got children, and I know how it is. And she did that. And we lived up to it because the lady that we bought the house from, there's the main lady that we deal with, Marianne, beautiful lady, black lady. She's married. the guy that she's married to, Leroy, he inherited the house, so it's really Leroy's house. But Miss Marianne, she handles all the real estate stuff. Leroy's family built this house. We talking about built it. Leroy's family built this house. We talking about old school. We're gonna build it with our bare hands. And so, um, life and stuff, people get older and everything. And we came along and we stashed it up. When the opportunity came, I'm like, look, let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. And we did what we did with it. We redid the whole house and stuff. And we took pictures of it and we showed them, like, look, we want to show you that we just thankful for the opportunity that you gave it, because they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that. And they were joyous. They were like, wow. They thanked us for doing what we supposed to do. They thanked us for, doing something with the house, a house that has history, where their folks built this house from scratch, and now they own multiple properties. They own multiple properties. So now they gave us an opportunity, and here we are. We own multiple properties, and we're looking to own more properties. Right now, real estate a little bit slow and stuff like that. So it is what it is. But still, all this ties together, and we learn these different things so we can pass this knowledge, we can pass this wisdom, we can pass this understanding on to not only our children, but also each and every person that's willing to listen. Hopefully, you're listening right now. So, like I said, I had to wake up, and literally the first thing I did was use the bathroom and then go whoop my son, because he wilding out. And right now they're in the office, and I got them watching a juvenile detention documentary on YouTube. This is how you use technology. This is how you use these different tools. I say what I say as a father. I done been to jail, so I can speak it from the experience. Like, look, that ain't what you want, man. These folk don't give a damn about you, and they will lock you up. So I can't take them to jail right now and show them. But what can I do? I can let them watch a video and see, and explain to them, like, those are children. Them boys that's in juvenile, they sure they got the mind of a child, man. And look how they treat them. Look how they treat them. And the world really treats people the same way the prison system does. Let's just be real about it. The world overall treats people the same way it does people in prison. And I can speak it from life itself and also being locked up. And anybody that's been in jail, they think about it like, you know what? That brother right. That brother right. So what do? We use these different tools to not only educate ourselves, but educate our children, so they can hopefully make better decisions. But you just can't let your children wild out, man. You can't. What you do is, you're responsible for what you do. At a certain age, hey, that's on them. My parents were responsible for me at a certain age. Now I'm a grown man. If I go ahead and do stupid stuff, they can be like, come on, man, like, you can't tell me you still that stupid. They got the right to say that. They're like, everything you went through and now you want to be stupid? So, do I want that for my children? Of course, I know they're going to make stupid decisions. But it's on me to equip them and discipline them so that they can make better decisions. And that comes from not only learning from your parents' mistakes, your grandparents' mistakes, not just the mistake, but just also the good, but also yourself. What you went through in life, what you've experienced, the good and the bad. And that's what we call balance, not just the positive. I only want to take the positive things from my life. If I did that, then I would be the man I am today. I took the negative and was like, you know what? Man, I don't want to keep on sleeping around with women no more. I'm tired of this. I want to do something different. I knew that was in me to do something different. Now, I didn't know marriage was for me, because I used to be against marriage. But I see the beauty. I see the beauty of marriage. And again, marriage ain't for everybody. That's the problem. People think it is, and they go get married when they're not even ready. Um, but for me, it's for me. So I took that negative in the sense of me being out here and doing all this fornication I used to do, and was like, I don't want to do that no more. Now I'm married, been married for over 7 years with 3 children right now. If I never take that quote unquote negative and only take all the positive, then am I the man I am today? No, no. So that's what we have to trash truck, man. How you doing? That's what we got. That's what we got to do. And when you do that, hold on. I rolled in the grass. Bro. But when we do that, that's when we have growth, and we take that growth and then we apply it to our lives. We help apply it to other people's lives. Um, but yeah, I think that's about it. Trash truck and stuff coming. What came as y'all heard. So yeah, I'm gonna let y'all go. Let me go ahead and check on my children, and then get me some hot tea. Get this morning mucus out. But it's a beautiful day right now. It's a beautiful day. But I love y'all. I know I say some harsh stuff, and the reason I say it is because I love y'all. But each of us are supposed to be a father figure to one another. So I want to be a type of father figure in your life, but not only myself. I want that for everybody. I want to go on another, man's page and be like, you know what? I can glean from them what they're speaking about as a father figure, holding one another accountable. And this is what the word tells you. The word tells you to. This is what the gospel is all about. We're gonna wrap it up with this. To love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. So if you want to summarize the gospel of Christ, we're not talking about that bull jive that's out here and all this other crazy stuff. We ain't talking about that. They ain't got nothing to do with no ties and art. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Nothing. That all that is a fluff and puff and show that they've taken the scriptures and they manipulated it. That's no excuse for you to be out here acting like a little raggedy ass nigga. If the word says to love your neighbor as you love yourself, love your brother as you love yourself, because just as I am made in the image of God, you were made in the image of God. What does that mean? If I want the best for me, that means that I want the best for you. If I am married and have a successful marriage, then I want the same thing for you. I don't want you to come and try to get my wife. I don't want you to come and try to get me. I want you to have your own wife or your own husband, your own children, your own house, your own land, your own car, your own spiritual riches. Y'all gonna make me start preaching again. So there's no reason for you to want what your brother or sister have, because we're all eating and living and thriving together. So if I want to be, and people know I say this all the time, they like, why do you say that? I want to be one of the greatest pastors, one of the greatest preachers, not in the eyes of man, but in the eyes of God, of this generation, of my generation. You may say, why would you say that? That's prideful. No, it's not prideful. It's realistic. It's realistic. Why, given the opportunity that God has given me, would I go into the position that he has blessed me with a mediocre mind? So you say, you know what? I'm gonna do the bare minimum. Today I'm thinking I'm gonna be a mediocre pastor Who wakes up and say, I think today is going to be a mediocre day. I want to be a mediocre father. I want to be a mediocre husband. I want to have mediocre sex with my wife. No. Like, that's the mindset that people have. And they will fault you if you say, I want to be the greatest pastor or one of the greatest pastors of my lifetime, of this generation. People may say, oh, T.D. Jakes. I don't care what people say about T.D. Jakes or whoever. I care about what God says. If God says, you know what, at the end of the day, you was one of the greatest because your love was the realest, then guess what? Amen, amen, amen. That's what I'm striving for. I don't wake up and, talk about I want to be mediocre. I don't want to be a mediocre father. We have mediocre fathers. They garbage. I don't, you know what I'm saying? How do I put it? I don't, you know what I'm saying, say I want to have sex with my wife and say, you know what, hey baby, you want to have mediocre sex? Like, no, I'm going in like, you are, look, come here, woman. You know what it is. You going in to be great. Now, it might not be great every time, but you're not going in to produce mediocrity. Because then your children, which are the seed of you, they're going to be mediocre. So, let me go and close it out. I preach and I speak the way that I speak because the word said to do unto others as you want done on yourself. I'm hard on myself. Therefore, I'm hard on others. I'm harsh. I judge myself, which is what the word says. So therefore, I judge you, and I'm say the stuff I say so that you can judge yourself, so you can do better. So your standard, you talk about standards. Y'all standards here. My standards ain't even. People say the sky's the limit. No, my standards are not the sky's the limit. Ain't no limits. It's up there with God. It's up there with God. Ain't no sky is the limits in regards to what we can do. Ain't no limits to what we can do. But what we do has to be done in righteousness, and that's the problem of the world. We do stuff. We create. We've done so much as mankind, but most of it has been done in unrighteousness. It's been done in greed, and this is the society that we live in. There is an abundance of resources, but the people don't have an abundance of resources because the people are greedy. Everybody got to kill everybody to do that, boom, boom, boom. I ain't got to go there. And then y'all come in the video and then you hate, which really, you don't really hate me. You hate that I'm speaking from the perspective of Christ. Because I'm saying that Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. That's your issue. But what do you expect me to say? That Muhammad is the way? No, that's not what I don't rock with that. I don't rock with that. And I don't rock with it simply because somebody told me to. I don't rock with it because I'm literally researching and studying every day. Every day I question what I believe. I know that may sound crazy. I question the very belief that I believe. That's true scientific approach. Because if I question it, and then I say, okay, if this is really true in regards to what we believe, then it's going to stand a test of time and I can compare it to everything. And that's what I do. Let me go study Islam. Let me go study that. And it proved itself over. God proves himself over and 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 over. And I don't go in it from a biased standpoint. I'm a Christian, what we call Christian pastor, so I'm biased to, the Christian research. That's not how you do it. God said to try him. He said to try him. He said, prove. He said, come and prove that I am who I am. And I will show you. The problem is most people don't do it because when God shows himself, he shows himself. And then when he showed himself, they want to, oh, he didn't show himself. He showed himself. Nah, you're lying. You're lying. You're lying. All this confusion is because people cause this confusion. They don't want to deal with reality, which means that they have to die to self to be who they really want to be. Or do they really want to be who they want to be? So with that being said, God bless each and every one of you in Jesus Christ's name as always. Stay focused for Jesus, and as you know, the truth is not debated, it is declared.